Finally, man, the Washington Wizards look like they may have finally, and not just them, but Bradley Beal as well, come to their senses. It's time to part ways, guys. What are we doing? I mean, Bradley Beal loves it in D.C., and that's cool. I like D.C. a lot, too. So I get it. It's a great city, and he loves it there. I respect that. But if he's trying to win, you got to go. You got to go. And last year, Robbie just finished his first year of a 5-year, $51 million contract. So he's got 4 years max money locked up. And the Wizards, they got a new GM, Michael Winger, who used to be with the Clippers, been around the league a long time. Good guy, good GM, good front office guy. We think it's his first GM job, or, where he runs things in basketball operations. But he has come in and said, you know what? Enough of this. Are we just trying to be mediocre? Are we just trying to win 37 games and get into the play-in? Which, by the way, they've only made the playoffs once in the last 5 years. So now Michael Winger and the Wizards front office is working with Bradley Beal and his agent, Mark Bartelstein, to find a good spot, a landing spot for him in the trade. And Bradley Beal's got a no-trade clause, so he's the only player in the league with one. And so he can, obviously have a lot of say on where he goes. And before we even get into maybe where he should end up, Rob, this is the right thing to do on both sides.
I get it. I'm torn from this standpoint, Chris. I understand that you're not going to win anything with Bradley Beal, but to strip down that organization, that just what are you going to get for him? What are you going to do? So you're telling folks to wait another 5 to 7 years, or are you trying to go get players who can complement him and make those kind of moves? If I'm a Washington Wizards fan, I don't like it. I don't want to.
You don't want to trade him?
No, I don't want to trade him. Not Chris. I want them to build around and go get him some players to build around his talent. And I don't know what their cap situation. I'm just talking as a fan.
But what is he? Your third on the championship team? Was he your third guy?
Yeah, but we just talked about the Rockets, Chris. We just talked about it. You can go ahead and trade him and say he's a third guy, not a Batman, not a Robin or whatever. But go ahead and do that. And what's left? What are you going to get for a third guy? What are you going to get in free agency from a third guy? That's what I'm asking you if he's a third guy.
How about this? Now, this works financially. Golden State. Bradley Beal for Jordan Poole, who can go there and score just as many points as Bradley Beal did, without question. Jonathan Kuminga, who is a young, talented kid. No doubt he's got big upside. And, it could be any of the young guys, but Moses Moody. If you're Washington, now, look, they're going to want draft. I assume they're going to want, especially with Winger, I think they're going to want draft picks. So maybe they won't, just do it for players. But what do you think? I would love that for the Warriors. And look, like I said, those three players have big potential, and Jordan Poole will step in right away and drop 23 points a game for you. And he's fun to watch. He's exciting. And Kuminga is too. So how about something like that?
Chris, where are you going with that? I mean, really?
You're going at least to where you went with Beal.
Okay.
You're not locked in all that money like you are with Beal. And again, that's just one thing.
No, I get it, but I'm just saying.
Portland's trying to help out Lillard. So I don't know. Will they give up the third pick and Anthony Simons for Bradley Beal? I'm thinking they might want more than Beal, but maybe it's a package with Beal and someone else. But I don't think that'd be enough for Portland. If I'm them, I'm going the opposite way and trading Dame. But they're saying they want to build around Dame And Bradley Beal is a really good player. And that would probably appease Dame, even though it won't get him any closer to a championship.
Yeah, I get it. I mean, that's your commodity. If you can get something and you think we're just going to strip this down and rebuild it and not be any closer. And the pieces you talked about from Golden State, they're not going to make you any – they might keep you in the same spot. I get it, Chris, but it's not going to change your franchise. And if I'm going to trade the only valuable asset I have, I need to feel like I'm getting something in return that is not going to set me back for the next 7 years or not make me feel like we might as well hold on to him. I mean, we're not going to.
Well, a lot of people, you don't think, what do you think Kuminga, I mean, who knows what he could become? He's only played 2 years.
You just
He's
said
only
it.
20 years old. Yeah, right, but he's got major league potential.
Yeah, I just don't know. You know?
I can't, I'm shocked that you think they should keep Bradley Beal.
I'm talking about it as a Wizards fan.
I mean, Bradley Beal ain't exactly Kyrie Irving in terms of excitement.
I
he's fine.
that.
He's a really good player. He's all-star caliber.
They paid him like he's a superstar, and they paid him like that. If that was the case, Chris, they never should have signed him, and they should have traded him before that.
No,
I'm just saying,
I thought they should have.
Okay, now that's different. If you would have told me, hey, before you sign this big deal with Bradley Beal, do you want to make a move and do something? Now I'm with that. But I'm just saying, going forward, there's no deal out there that's going to make the Wizards that much better or any different. That's all I'm saying.
But it's just,
if you just feel like you just want to do window dressing and put a blue deck chair on the Titanic instead of an orange one, then go ahead and do it.
Rob, look, you might disagree, but to me, the worst place you can be in the NBA is mediocre. Like, I'm either contending or I'm young, bad, but hopeful. Like, you either sell winning or hope in the NBA. The Wizards have neither. If you trade Beal for a youth movement, at least you've got hope. Right now, Houston has hope. Let's see what Jalen Green becomes. Let's see what Alperen Sengun becomes. Let's see what Jabari Smith and Kevin Porter Jr. become. Orlando has hope. Let's see what Paolo Banchero becomes. Charlotte's got LaMelo Ball. New Orleans has Zion and Brandon. Like, hope. I know you're not going to win next year probably, but Jonathan Kuminga is hope. Jordan Poole can already play, and he's still young enough to give you hope. The number 3 pick from Portland, hope. Scoot Henderson or Brandon Miller or whoever it might be. Hope. You're right. 4 years from now, you might say, you know what? They know better than Bradley Beal. And
That's
we're
what
the
I'm
same
saying.
place.
Right.
But
that
you tried, and I'm not paying them $250 million either. So that's the other thing. Why am I paying you $250 million to not even make the play-in? Like, you got to get out of the middle. Get to the bottom so you can get some young guys that give you hope, or get to the top.
That's what.
And
Houston
so I
had
just
some
think
young
it's
guys,
a move they need to make.
Some young guys to build on and all that. They got the young guys, Chris. They got the picks, and guess what? They already are saying that was nice, that was fun.
Who are you talking about?
The Rockets. They have young guys and they have picks. They that's what they did, and they're looking for a star. Because they realize.
Well, they might have. Look, this is mismanagement. I doubt their front office is this bad. Well, Jalen Green might be a star. He averaged 20 points a game last year. They were one of the league leaders in getting to the rim last year.
Just that people aren't buying tickets to go see it. That's all.
Well, that's fine, but I'm just saying, I'm talking about from a basketball perspective.
But I'm talking
Bradley
about
Beal is not exactly, a guy that's drawing fans all night long. I mean, he's a good player. He's great in the community. He's an all-star. Sometime he all-star. And I think for him, though, I'm happy for him, too. Because I'd love to see him. I think he'd get more love. He'd be more appreciated if he was in a winning situation. And so I just think, of course, there's no guarantee that if you get a bunch of draft picks, that they're going to turn out into be, great players. But sometimes, like, that's how Golden State built with the draft. That's how Denver built with the draft. That's how Milwaukee built to a large degree with the draft. Like, that's how you do it. And sometimes if you make the wrong picks, then you're going to be in trouble. If you make the right picks, then it'll be great.
But for every team that you just mentioned, those three, and I hear that, I can give you 10 other teams like Detroit. You
got to make the right. Well, Detroit, though, but look, Cade Cunningham was hurt. Maybe he's going to turn into something.
But they've got one playoff. Their last playoff win was 15 years ago, which is just mind-boggling when I think about it because I worked there a long time. I'm just saying, Chris,
but Rob, these guys are young.
I hear you, but it's not everybody can't win that way because everybody doesn't get
you
those
don't make
kind
the
of
right
players.
picks.
Right. They don't get lucky or fortunate to have the right pick. Steph Curry wasn't the first overall pick. He was 7th, right? He was 7th.
Yeah. So it's not like you do have to be smart and make the right picks.
Unfortunate. I get it, but I'm just saying I understand the business side of it as well, is that you have a product to sell. And you just can't ask fans to come back and say, hey, don't pay attention over here. We'll be back in about 5 years. Let these kids develop. You kind of got to give people something.
I think a lot of fans will like if you have young, promising players. At least we think they're promising. I mean, at the very least, they could be as exciting as they are now. Because they're bad now. And if they're bad after the trade, guess what? At least I got a $250 million contract off my books.